my name is Mackenzie and I'm an environmental technician with the R Board, and welcome to the R Board landfill facility. The R Board was established in 1987 as a joint venture between Stafford County and the city of Fredericksburg to provide a facility for solid waste management. Here at our facility, we have over 880 acres of land to process and to house solid waste. And of those 880 acres, we have about 20 to 30 acres of wildlife area to preserve and to protect the nature around us. Good morning, everybody. I'm an environmental tech with the R Board. So what I do day to day here at the R Board is I do environmental monitoring. So I look at things like gas collection systems, because you know when things decompose, gases get emitted. So we check those systems to see what's being collected and are we doing what we're supposed to be doing. And then what we also do is look at our leachate. So I'm sure you guys have learned about decomposition as well and juices that come from it. So when trash is in the landfill, it decomposes, and juices in those liquids, I kind of call it like a trash cocktail is the best way to describe it, and making sure that we're keeping all that stuff contained. I also collect water samples to make sure that there's no contaminants coming off of our site. And lastly, I work with the engineers to make sure that we're doing everything that we need to do in the future development of this facility. The first thing that you see when you get to the landfill is our scale house. This is where the trucks will pull in, get weighed, and figure out how much trash they're actually holding on their truck. There, they let the scale house attendants know what they are hauling and where they're hauling it from before they get to the cell and deposit it there. Now, what they have to do on their way back out is stop right back at the scale house and they reweigh the truck. They get an invoice from the scale house tech saying, we dropped off this amount of trash, we checked in with you, and we're good to go. And they go back out into the world and recollect the trash. Alrighty, so we are standing here at our working face. This is our brand new cell that just opened up this last March. And so since then, they've been filling up this area. And when they're filling up the first layer, that's called a fluff layer. They fill the cell with trash and then they cover it with dirt. They run over it about 6 to 8 times to create a very thin layer. They're building a layer on it over our raincoat that's here. So this will create a foundation as the fluff layer to start building up the trash mound that we will have underneath. What will then happen this evening is that they will cover the trash with the dirt and then continuously roll over it to make that thin layer. To the left of me over here is an old cell. So this is a cell that was recently filled up all the way to the highest point as it can get, and they've slowly been putting dirt and seed down to start the capping process. This is our methane gas power plant. So here we collect gases. We have a gas collection system here at our facility that generates lots and lots of methane. What happens is that we collect the methane gas and it funnels down to this system here. So the power plant processes the methane into power. The power is then applied to the power grid and it powers one of our jurisdictions here in Stafford County. So what it does is it takes the methane gas and it runs it through a big old generator engine. And what happens is it puts off enough energy to create a very viable power source. And we often look at this as a renewable source of energy. So as much as we are bringing trash and bringing in pollution into a landfill, we're keeping it contained. And we're also taking anything that emits off of it and turning it into something that can be used. So that's what we consider to be renewable. This is our metal collection pile. So what happens is when residents drop off their metal or their appliances at the Bellman and Eskimo Hill drop-off sites, it is then hauled to this area, sorted through, and then it's then collected by our metal collectors and hauled off to a recycling facility. When you come to the Eskimo Hill residential drop-off area, there'll be designated areas where you can put different types of waste. For example, this area is the recycling area, our single stream recycling to be exact. So here, this is where you'll drop off your paper, your metal, and your plastics. Now, as you move around the Eskimo Hill Circle drop-off area, you'll see signs for things like tires, and that's tires only. You see things for appliances that are like refrigerators and dishwashers. And there's also something called an oil drop-off area. And all you have to do there is drop off your oil and we'll process it ourselves here.
The truck's back in this door right here, and as you can see, they drop all their recycling. I use that machine right there and push it into what's called the pit. It goes from the pit up the belt and into the compactor. The recycling you see here, that machine, that trailer can carry like 13 tons.
This is where our mechanics and our heavy equipment operators come and they work on the equipment and also the personal vehicles that we use to drive around the landfill. This is an essential point of our whole facility operations, as this is what keeps our facility running, all of our equipment moving and operating. This is our composting building. This is where we take all of our materials that will soon be collected by residents and brought here to undergo the process of composting and compost aeration, where we will soon turn all of the material into soil. From there, we will then take the soil and hopefully bring it back into the community to use at community gardens or residential gardens, or to even use here at our facility to reestablish vegetation and to grow new life and plant life. Thank you guys for joining me today on this tour of the R-Board facility. For more information, visit our website at rboard.org and like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.